Alright, let's now look at actually adding symbols and plug-in objects to our drawing. So remember, we need to go to our favorites. We've put Architect Sample in our favorites. And let's put in a door. So a door, it's in red, it means it's a plug-in object. So it means that once we put it in, we can change the size, the style, lots of things. We can really edit it. So we'll double click on the plug-in object and we'll move it over to the wall that we want to put the door in, and let's put a door up here. So notice it's not jumping into the wall. We got to make sure that we turn on the symbol insertion mode, and now it'll jump into the wall. So the first click sets the plug-in object in the wall. Let's not worry about the side to side too much. We'll set that afterwards. The next click, before you click, you can move your cursor side to side, and if I move the cursor to the left, the door opens on the right. If I move it to the right, it opens on the left. I can also move my cursor outside the wall to change which way the door swings. So I want to have it opening inside, and I'll have it open that way. The last click, the third click, sets the symbol, and then I'll exit from the plug-in object. Hit the X key on the keyboard. Now in the object info palette, because this is a plug-in object, and notice it's door in wall now, because it's been actually cut into the wall, I can make all kinds of changes. I can change the width, so if I want to have it be a 3-foot door, or 3-0 door, I can change the size. I'm going to switch to an isometric view so you guys can look at this. I can change the door height. 6'8" is pretty standard, so I'll leave that. I can change the top of the door shape. There's round, sloped, gable. There's a gazillion things you can do with this. I'll end it there, but you can spend a lot of time playing around with the attributes. You can change the type of swing. If you want it to be a bifold or a pocket door or a slider or an overhead door. Let's look at a bifold door. I'll go back to, if you just want to have a cased opening with no door there, you can do that as well. I'll go back to a simple swing door. I'll let you guys spend some time looking at the jam. You can change the type of leaf if you want to have frame and panel. You can choose the number of vertical panels, the number of horizontal panels. I'll just choose some random values just so you can see how they change. And it's not showing up too much here. I'll do a different rendering in this screencaster maybe at the end. Let me see if I can panel. Oh, I gotta set the top rail width is 5, and do that. They'll start showing up. There we go. You start seeing some detail. So you can control all the rails and styles and the number of panels, and I'll give the door a color, so you can change the color by using the attributes palette. Let's see what color would be nice for our door. Maybe something like that. So you can see we got lots of panels going on there. Again, if you don't like it, you can change it using the object info palette. You can also, if you keep on scrolling down, the object info palette has a gazillion options, so you got to make sure you keep scrolling down. You can put side lights in, just pieces of glass on either side of the door. You can put a transom up above sometimes. What I really like to do though is I like to put the interior and exterior trim. So you can choose interior and exterior trim. And Vectorworks will trim out the door for you. And you can decide how wide the trim is, how thick it is. You can put in lintels. You can do all kinds of things. I think I'll end my discussion there, but you can really play around with different types of doors to get them looking good. I'll go back to top plan. Let's drop in a window. So I'm still in my wall insertion mode because I want to, actually I might cut my window in. So same thing, first click sets it in the wall. I can then choose which way my window is going to sit in the wall, and then the last click fits it. Now I put that one in backwards. I want to have the sill on the inside. You can flip it. You can, same thing, change the type of window. Here, I'll turn that way. You can choose a bipart encasement, an awning, fixed glass. Same with the door. If you just want to have a cased opening, just a hole, if you're doing like a pass-through in an interior wall and you don't want any glass in there, you can do a cased opening. I'll go back to fixed glass. Actually, I'll go back to single hung window. You can change the width. You know, if we want to have a 48-inch wide window. You can change the overall height. If I want to make this, 4.5 feet, 4.5 feet. Now the elevation is a really nice feature. So I can set the elevation and I can choose the head of the window, which means the top of the window, or the sill of the window for my elevation. So notice if I hit sill of the window, that is now 6'8" to the bottom of the window. And you can see it's way outside of the wall. So I want to make sure that's head of window. And just like a door, you can change all kinds of things, the jamb and the sash, and you can put trim on the inside and trim on the outside. And the thing I want to show you for this is in settings. You can also set all kinds of things, but I want to be able to look through that window from the outside of my wall. You have to go to glazing, choose glazing and clear, and I'll click OK. And I'm going to give this a color as well, just before I render it, just so you can see it a little bit more. And I'll render this in OpenGL. And now as I fly over, I can actually look through the window. But I had to set the glazing to clear, and I had to do that in the settings. So that's pretty cool thing to do. You can put your doors and your windows in. You can control the height, the size, the width, the type. And in the next screencast, we'll talk about how you position them horizontally along the wall.